Welcome, YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, this was a live recording on ustream.tv. If you'd like to join in the live chat, you can go to ustream.tv and look for Inky Obsessions and click follow, and you should be notified when I schedule an event to go live. I'm having some technical difficulties today. I'm going to try to press through them. The clarity on screen that we're watching during the stream is not clear. So hopefully it doesn't come out on YouTube so bad. If it's too hard for you to watch, you know what to do. Press delete. Anyway, here we go. Jesus, you'd think I'd never streamed before. Okay. Hey, Joan. Who else snuck in there? Tam. All right. Okay, so here's what I want to show you guys this stuff. You probably saw it online already. But I like the way this turned out. Not wild about the placement of the gauze. It's kind of like clustered, but I like the effect, and you guys have probably seen this. So I'm probably showing you over again, but for YouTubers who may not have seen it or don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, Facebook, may not have seen this. And this is where I laid some gauze in the watercolors and just let it dry and then peeled it off. I got some different effects there. And then I took, you know how I did, and other people, I didn't invent it, of course, but where I've taken alcohol ink on Yupo or Terraskin paper. Both are manufactured papers. One's plastic and one's made out of rocks. This happens to be Terraskin that's made out of rocks. It's a different feel to it than Yupo, but it acts the same way. It's non-porous. Hey, Kimberly, thanks. This is alcohol ink. So what I did with this one is I sprayed it with alcohol, laid down a stencil. This was my tribal border stencil. And then I took little alcohol ink bottles and dripped different colors in different holes of the stencil, and you let it sit and dry, and it kind of bleeds underneath into the alcohol you sprayed and gets that kind of watercolory look around there, right? But you see a crisp image of what the stencil was in this. So I did the same thing on Yupo with watercolors and laid my mermaid tail stencil in it, and it comes out, it's there, but it's very subtle. You can see some of the scales in the tail, but when you go up to the tip of the tail, I mean, they're there. They're just not, maybe it's the way the colors were mingled that kind of break up the pattern. But it's not as distinct as using the alcohol inks on there. So I just wanted to show you that. This one I posted pictures. This is the one that had that real cool feathering effect. I just want to see if, oh, it's going to focus for me today. Look at you. It's like I hit the lottery. My camera's focusing. But anyway, there you go. Hi, Patty. The camera's having trouble with these, perhaps because of the reflective quality of the silver ink. My view keeps zooming in and out. And it's weird because here I see it perfectly. So I don't know if that's something local to you. Is anybody else having the trouble Tam's having with it going in and out? I mean, my camera always goes in and out of focus. It's never a good close-up, but that's actually better than it usually is for what we just did. So I do not know. And this is the result of that last week when I painted the corrugated cardboard with the Vivid Ultra Metallics, and then the copper metal paint, and then sprayed it with the acid to make it patina, right? So this is where we came out. And this is my favorite section down here where I use the cashmere ultra metallics down there. See a little bit of the copper sticking out there too where I missed. And then that blue was from the acid turning that copper paint to the color of the patina that it would naturally turn to over time, but this is speeding up the process. This is the section that has the, what the hell is that called? African jade under it. This is such a big piece, it's really awkward for me to get it under the camera and not hit the cord that's right here, right next to my finger here, and bump the camera and make it move. So I'm not going to worry about that. You guys have seen stills of that or a video online. So I had in my head something I was going to do today. And quite honestly, there's so much going on with these health issues in the family that my brain's a little disjointed, and may have to pull the plug and leave at any time. So there's that, just so you know. I had an idea, and I actually had a name for something that I was going to name it if it came out. Look at that, tapping my fingers. I know that's pissing somebody off. Gayla, I thought about you when I saw the hurricane coming up through there again. I'm hoping that by the time it gets up to you, it's going to have diminished a great deal from the last time. Hey, Ella. Unsettling at best, I know. All right. I was going to... I don't want a huge piece of watercolor paper. Where's my smaller pad? I want actually watercolor paper this time. Instead of Yupo. That's 140 cold press. What's this? Cold press, 140. Same. This is one thing I don't like using a block for. See where I did the painting above that, and there's some paint on there. I think it should stay clean. Oh, Lord. I'm just going to use this. This is Fabriano. I got this when we were at Dick Blick this summer. That's a heck of a pad of paper. I don't know how many sheets it is. Made in Italy. 50, so I guess it's 50 sheets. 9 by 12, 140 pounds, and it was cheap. Hey, Jan. How are you with the, what's she saying about the weather? Really windy and raining. From Nate. Yeah, I bet you are. You're right down there in it, aren't you? Not far anyway. And I'm actually going to do this where I tape it down. In the off chance it actually comes out cool, I'll have it saved and a border around it. And I have some artist tape here. It's kind of narrow. Oh, what the hell. Guess it doesn't really matter. I've never actually done this before, so I'm like in virgin territory. Imagine that at my age. And of course that just crimped on me. Get out of there. Maybe I don't need it. Let me go down here where I can see what the hell I'm doing. Well, that didn't work because it's too narrow. is what I thought for what I have in my head. So let me see what else I can find. Oh, here's a white one that's artist tape. Maybe I can get this one to work. Oh, good. I'm glad, Jan. The worst of it's passed for you. Scary stuff going on these days. I'm telling you. What the hell's happening? People are going absolutely crazy. And then add the weather to it, and there you are. This is the board I got at Dick Blick too, thanks to Gala spending my money. I didn't even see him, and then she had to throw it out there. Let's see. How do I do that? This way? All right, sorry guys. Fast forward if you're on YouTube, if you know what's good for you. This will probably be all jacked up and crooked. But, you know, whatever. I can see it's crooked already. Crap. Let's see how much is there. Lordy, lordy. I want to have a decent white frame around it. So in my head, I was going to try to, I was inspired by Cece. Her abstract watercolors she is doing lately are crazy cool. Crazy, crazy, crazy cool. And not to, on top of that, she's using some of my stencils and stamps to work into them. Did you guys see those? On YouTube, she is Creations CC. CEE. She has a Patreon page also where you'll see stuff that's not on Facebook. She's the only Patreon person I subscribe to. I can't resist it. Oops, tapping again. So I'm gonna mix up a few watercolors as I think of what I'm gonna do here. And I wanted to do something kind of in shades of gray, just kind of splattered throughout. I'm gonna throw in some of my creamer in either the Polar Silver or the Satin, maybe both up there, a little bit of that. But I want to do shades of gray. And I know her. It's so cool. She's got such a good eye. It's crazy. So taking some of the things that she does and a couple of things that I do and a couple of things that other people do, I got this vision in my head where I'm going to try to pull a little bit from each and see what I come up with. We'll see. Okay. So I want to I'm trying to decide which stencil I want to use. Would you believe a lot of my stuff is still packed up from July? And my stencils are in that pile. I'll go grab one later, but I want to get some watercolors down. So let me mix up. I want to use dark colors. Of course, I didn't clean out my palette. Ugh. Sorry. I'm going to wipe a little bit of this out with a baby wipe and get a couple cleaner areas over here. You can see my splatter goes all over my palette. I'm going to use some Lunar Blue. And I want some black, and I want some Payne's Gray. Not the best way to do this, but it's going to work for now. All right. Lunar Blue. Right, Jan? Jan is just saying, for those on YouTube, that she loves the creamer watercolor medium better than any other she's tried. Totally agree. Totally agree. And that's got glycerin and honey and gum arabic in it. What proportions, I don't know. But that is some good stuff right there. Get some Lunar Blue going in here. Get a little puddle of that to draw from. And I want some this is the creamer black called Furnace Black, and it is black. Let me tell you, that's really dark watercolor black. The pigment is really heavy in that. Nice little puddle of that. Turn my water completely black. Speaking of twinkling H2Os, I got a note from Leslie Onstead this morning. She sent me a Facebook message that she is sending me her prototype with a small sampling of some half pans for me to start demoing for her. So I'm really anxious to get those. I can't wait to mingle those in with the stuff that I'm making. What else did I want? I want a Lunar Black. Like the Lunar Blue. That one is the one that has a real heavy granulation to it. That's Daniel Smith. You know, as I'm thinking, do I have a Payne's Gray watercolor? I guess I do on my Schmincke set. I might have to pull that out. Payne's Gray, Payne's Gray, Payne's Gray, Payne's Gray. Where are you? Where are you? Payne's Gray. I think you are that one. We'll assume I'm right. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that's right. Because that's Oxgall. That comes out clear on the swatch. Yeah, theirs has a little bit of a blue to it, so that's good. I probably should have one other color to throw in here. All right. Okie dokie. And I want to, in the bottom, I vision a moon down here, like just coming into the scene. So I want to, what do I have? Somewhere I have embroidery hoops that I used to use on my, there they are. Ah, what do you know, right in the embroidery hoop department. Let me grab one about the right size. Oh, Jesus. Smashed myself in the face. And drop one on the floor. That's about right. That's just about right. Let's see, is this the right size? Oh, look at you. Not quite, but that's all right. I'm gonna put a little mark. Oh, that's kind of dark, isn't it? What the hell? That's all right. I'll try to lighten that up a little bit. With my gum eraser. Let me pull you in a little bit closer because I don't think you guys can see much. And it's going to be hard. Well, I can't pull you in that close because my board, you're going to be off frame. And I know when I'm watching somebody, that is not fun to watch when it's off frame. So I'm going to try. There we go. That's going to be the furthest in I can get you and still work. Hear that? I'm hitting the wall. Hitting the wall, people. And I'm just going to dab this over this pencil, and that will pick up enough to lighten this up. I thought I was pushing light on it, but the damn Wheaties. Just a little bit. And I want to try to, where is it? Is it this? That's the Daler Rowney. I wanted my India ink, my Doc Martin black. Where you is? Here we go. Want a little bit of this. So I'm gonna, oh, so the white is making this go crazy. Will that help? Hello. Come back. Come back. I command you. Okay, so I'm going to wet the inside of this semicircle down here. Oh, really? Is this the way it's going to play now? Maybe I should bring this over here. Will that get in the camera a little bit more and give it something to look at? Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. It should be easier. So I'm gonna wet the inside of my circle. My half circle. I don't have a very steady hand anymore. Not so good. That's where Cece's like a machine when she's doing her fine work. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me get a paper towel ready. Has anybody heard from Paula recently? Gosh, I can't remember the last time she streamed. Okay, so now that's pretty wet. I just want to take a little teeny beeny Marilyn Monroe. Is that, hang on. Ha! Janine! I love it! I love the name. Hello, my friend. So the Maryland Art Weekend ladies, Marilyn Monroe, Janine, was going to join us this summer for the retreat, but had something come up and was not able to make it. Um, but anyway, she may be a future art weekender with us. She's a Queens inker and lives in not my immediate area, but within reason enough. So now I'm just going to put a little tiny drip, and let's see what happens, because I know it does this. It grows, right? It goes and grows. I'm going to try to pull you guys in now a little bit because I've moved what was blocking me. I've got an awkward setup today, Janine, where I'm trying to do something different. And, well, I don't like the way that looked. Let me put more water in there and see what happens. So far, that's not looking like I wanted it to. One drop of this stuff goes a long way, so be mindful of what you're looking for if you do anything with this stuff. Let's put that away before I do any more damage. Yeah, Janine, we have got to, I sent you a Facebook message just the other day, actually. We've got to figure something out on how to get together. I got a lot of stuff going on. On top of all the stuff you're aware of, my mom now has pneumonia starting in her right lung. And I'm going to lift a little bit of that. Trying to lift up some of this extra liquid. And this is something I've never done, actually, is lifting off stuff like this. So if I look like I'm holding my brush awkwardly, I am. How astute of you. I know enough, as I claim my disclaimer all the time, is I know enough to be dangerous, but I got the balls to try it. So there you have it. That's my story. Now I want to try to find my other, I know I have one of these nice, is this it? It's a different brand than what I've seen CC and others using, but it's a mop brush. Isabey. And it says, says nothing because it's so blurry. Nobody in their right mind could read that. There you go. And it doesn't really have a size down here like they normally have. Here it says an 04 Maritas. No clue. But anyway, it's a mop brush. So I'm going to try not to touch this anymore. Oh, but I am. As I say that, of course I am. Hang on. I wanted to put some of this white. Just drop a little bit of this Polar Silver creamer in here a little bit while it's wet. Just some little streaks here and there. No rhyme or reason to it. Just want a little reflection when that dries. So we'll see where that gets us. Okay, so now, I don't know, this brush looks a lot bigger and not as nice of a point as the one I see ICCC using. But hopefully I can get a similar effect. Not that I can copy her effects in the first place. With the identical equipment. That's not going to happen. But I'm going to get some water on the paper a little bit, but I'm going to spray it. I don't want to put thick puddles on here. I just want to... Oh, shoot. Didn't want to do that. See the dangers of spraying? That'll be fine, though, because that'll just blend into the rest of the background at some point. I may come in and put a hard line around this to section it off at some time. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up, let's start with the some Payne's Gray. And I'm just going to hold the end of the brush. I see so many people holding their brush like this when they want a real abstract-y kind of a look. So I thought I'd give it a try. Who's coming down here to join Mommy? Is that Babe? Oh, shoot. Didn't want that all the way up there. Oh, what are you going to do? We'll just go with it. That's really a blue color of Payne's Gray. This is the Schmincke Payne's Gray. And that's a lot of blue in there. Looks like navy blue. It looks more like a indigo than what I think a Payne's Gray should be or is. And this paper, even though it's taped down, is really buckling. So I was going to try to not use a hairdryer or not a hairdryer, heat gun. But I think I'm gonna let this run a little bit. Of course, it's running all over my board as well, because that's the way I do it. Since I'm on camera, I don't want to sit here and watch it, watch paint dry, even though I know how exciting that can be. Now, if this really buckles this paper up so bad, I mean, it's taped down and it's already, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, how bad it's buckling. I guess that's the nature of this paper. Maybe that's why it was such a good deal. I don't know. Did Dave have a good golf? He did. He had a really nice time. They had really nice weather. Last year, for the same week, they got evacuated because a hurricane hit, flooded the streets of Myrtle Beach and flooded some of the golf courses that were on the water. And they got evacuated. Oh, before I do this, I forgot one little trick that I was supposed to do with the wet brush. It's to try to get rid of these hard edges. Actually, not a wet brush, but I'm wetting it because it's already dried. See, I already screwed this up. To try to soften these edges. I see Carlin Holman go in and do this a lot, and CC and a bunch of others, but I already have screwed that up. See where that line isn't going to lift up? I guess this is a more staining color. One has to learn these lessons the hard way when you have such a hard head to start with. So, but yeah, Joan, he had a really good time. They got home yesterday, I guess around 2. They left early. It's an 8-hour drive. And he got home around 2. One of the guys, there's a caravan of cars that go down there from here. The guys usually meet here, and we have a pretty big driveway, so they'll leave some extra cars here. Um, and then carpool. And then um, they left yesterday early in the morning to come home, and found out that one of the guys' car broke down, had to have stop on the side of the road, had to have it towed back to Myrtle Beach, and had to pile all those guys and their stuff into the other cars. And then uh, the car that broke down, him and his dad are going to fly down later in the week to pick it up. But so Dave had stuff in the back of the not Suburban, the Navigator, up literally up to the ceiling in the back cargo area. So, but they made it. All is well. He had oil was leaking. What's Debbie saying? Try wetting it, taping it, and let it dry before you start to reduce buckle next time. Wetting it? Oh, wet it and then tape it. Aha. See all these things I learned from you guys? Alright, that's kind of got rid of some of those hard edges. Kind of, sort of. Blurred this out a little bit more. We'll see. Maybe one for the scrap pile when I'm done, but what the hell. I just wanted to play, and I'm playing. So, mission accomplished there. Yeah, this is really... I got a roller coaster going here. Good enough. All right. Rehydrating. All right, now another little spritz. Learn your lesson. As if I ever do. And let's go. Let's put some Lunar Black in there. This granulates so quickly. It's pretty cool stuff. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that buckle? It's like I'm painting on a roller coaster. The only thing I had in mind was this moon at the bottom. So we'll see where we end up here. This could go not so good. So I'm going to try to do this and soften these edges again a little bit. pick up some of that. I'm not sure I like a brush that does that, and I think that's what they call no bounce back. That's kind of awkward for me. Knowing not what I'm doing very well, but what the hell. This looks so black in the pan, and when it starts to granulate and spread out, it's really much lighter than it was in the pan. It's in that lunar family. I guess the lunar blue kind of does the same, must have the same kind of black in it. All right, let's try that one a little bit and see what happens. You know what, Janine? I never do art while I'm watching a stream. I pay too much attention to the chat, I guess. I don't know. But I never do anything when I'm watching. And I usually watch from my recliner, so it would be really awkward for me to try to do that anyway. Maybe that's why. Look how much that black granulates. There you go, there's a good shot. It just leaves a little mist of gray behind, and it's like piles of pepper that are laying there. It's kind of cool. Oh, I didn't drip that one. Too late, I think. Yep. He's too late. That's okay. Now I want to get a little more, I'm going to use my smaller brush. I want to get more of this silver in here. Oh, Joan, you had another craft show? Oh my. I'm just going to dot a little bit of this through here. I use the end of my brush again, so it's real wonky schmonky. Just so it peeks through now and again when the rest of it dries. And not too much. Imagine me saying that. Oh. Now, will any of this run? A little bit. Hey, John. Her wallet's in witness protection. Joan is a craft show enthusiast. Professional, even. Not at all what I had in my little head. This is too streaky, stripy. I got to get it more blurry. Somehow, some way. Wow, that silver is strong. I'm going to have to go back and blur some of those edges. I think I've gotten so used to working with UPO so much that I don't even know what to expect this to do on regular paper anymore. Let's see if I can fix some of that. See, those lines right there are too hard, I think. I don't want them that hard. I wanted a kind of an ethereal, blendy situation. Is that possible at this juncture? Oh, it's only paper, remember? Those famous words. They'll make more. I think that's a little better, though, actually. Still not what's in my little noggin, but I'll cool that off a little bit. Paul is an excellent craft shopper as a husband. I've seen it in action, where he scouts and brings stuff to Joan she thinks she will like. God bless him. You are multitasking, Pam. Cleaning the kitchen, watering plants, and watching. It's still kind of, well, I got layers to go yet. Working through the uglies, let's say. See where that silver is? It's kind of like, even though I blurred it out, it's kind of like in its own little lane. It's a very strong, concentrated pigment. All right, what next? Maybe I should get some of this creamer black in here. And that's a dark. Oopsie, I didn't spray it. Just want it lightly moist. Well, where are we going? Let's just go right here. Why not? Not watching the chat so good. Yeah, do I get to this point before I don't know, should that be more watery? I can't get the feel of that to get it to not make that hard line. And cleaning it up and wiping it off. I don't know. Oh, see? Forgot to do this again. Let's do that first. Babe's making a mass exodus out from underneath she doesn't like the knocking. Sorry, little girl. You can tell I'm thinking I'm not running my yap so much. You're welcome. Oh. Kayla, are you seeing what you want to see, do you think? Oh, mercy. I don't even... Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I see you. I got it. Lord. Let's do something about that while I can. Let's see. I don't know how to fix that. Hey. Now it just looks like one with wings. Hey. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, that's where I'm leaning towards, Janine. It's gonna have something else in there. What, I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening there. This group kind of dried as kind of a not so pleasing color of the black and gray I had in my head. It's got a little brown and almost a hint of greenish in there. Teeny tiny bit. All right, you know what? I'm just going to dry that. I can live with that. I had like a monochrome kind of a thing in my head with shades of gray. I did not realize that Payne's gray from the Schminke was going to come out looking like that blue. I know it had a little bit of a blue tinge to it. That looks like it was just a blue pigment. I know you guys can't see that. There's a little puddle there I'm trying to make do something interesting. I don't think that's going to do much interesting. Wasn't quite wet enough, I guess. Oh, sure, Gayla. Blame that on me. I bring out the bad in you. I'm just sitting here minding my own business. Joan, I know you don't believe that. All right. Now I'm going to go into the lunar blue. See how turquoisey that looks? How that broke apart like that? Now watch when I stir. Oops. Watch when I stir it up a little bit. It goes back to looking like it's black again, or almost black. Crazy pigment. Crazy, crazy. Oops, didn't spray. All right. Where are we going with you? I don't know. Let's go up through here. Let's see what happens. I need more lunar blue. A little bit stronger. Just went real kind of blobby, abstracty sort of lines. Not even lines, just blobs. Blobs, I tell you. But these colors that break up like that are, they do some really interesting stuff with texture. You can see how that's turning blue again right before my eyes. Patti, stop getting Gail into trouble. Oh, she's on her own. I know too much, people. I cannot be responsible for that one. Well, maybe a little. Was it last year this time, guys, that we were in North Carolina at Sand Hills? Me, Gail, and Kathy for Remy. I just saw them post again on Facebook that they're having their next one's coming up in a few days, I guess. I can highly suggest if anybody's looking for an art retreat. So Gayla and Kathy, from the first time that we went to the Sand Hills to Remy, they now have a base house that they work out of instead of the hotel. So I think it would be much more now like the Ocracoke experience is, where everybody's there and basically living there together and all that stuff. There's more group time. All right, I just see a big X on top of the moon. Is everybody else just seeing that? Poking out in my face like a big old X. I wonder if I use some of this black, if that would be blacker than the creamer. Oops, hello. My little stopper was stopped up, as they do. Oh, let's try that. Get that a little bit wet. Get my brush a little bit wetter. Okay, let's see. Kathy and Patty Miller. True story. Laugh so hard she wrecked her car. Give me a bad reputation. Won't be anybody else invite me to go anywhere, Gayla. Thank you very much. Ooh, that's really wet, number one, and not as concentrated. And I forgot this black breaks up with a purple cast to it. Can you see that on there? I'll pull it up and show you what I mean. I don't know why I did that, but I just felt compelled to splat. Hey, Sandy. Welcome back. Long time. I'm making a mess at the moment. Not at all coming out like I had in my little head. Let's drop some of that down and see what happens. See that purple cast to that? Compared to the brownish color that the moon at the bottom ended up? Ah, interesting. Just want to try to get it a little darker in places. I see all these random hi this, hi that, hi this, hi that. I love bacon. What the hell is you guys talking about? I also love bacon. In fact, I had a good old bacon on a biscuit before I came down here today. That's kind of... Now I think I went from an X to an asterisk for starfish. Oh, mercy. Not at all what I had in my little head. Huh. Yeah, not at all. Looking like I thought. Keep going. Yeah, that really stains. See that? That won't even move right there where that's dried already. She's not moving. I know what I'll do to fix it. I'll add more paste to get that weird edge out of there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I like the way that silver's just kind of peeking through there instead of being such a prominent line. See how that kind of muted down at different places? All right. Hang on. Let me go over to my bin of stencils and look for something that's going to grab me. Oh, I wonder what that would look like. I don't know. I always go for my same designs over and over and over and over and over. Or that, maybe. Well, that might look interesting. Oh, even that might. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, I'm just going to grab a few and see what seems. Oh my, I've got crap everywhere in this place. I don't know. Something like this going through this dark section here. Maybe lift it off. This is too wonky. I love it. It's one of my favorites, but it's a little, and this looks more watery to me. Here's the reverse of Iron Gate, the mask. No, no, I don't want this one. I don't want just stripes. Oh, here's some more masks. I don't know, maybe something like that. Oh, here's the stencil. This would be easier to handle than the mask. Maybe a big one up here. And I don't know, maybe. Or something like this. Little strips of this. Would that look like nothing? No shooting stars. No, nothing. Love it, but too random. Too not, I don't see it with this. This is too big. I have a smaller one, but that's too big of a hole. too much removed. Okay, let's go back. What would this do for me? Maybe just in one little section here like that. Would that look like anything? I'll kind of go to the circle thing. But if this is the moon, then what's the circle? Could be just a circle. All right, I don't know. I'm going to use between these two, I think. No idea what I'm doing, to be perfectly honest. Well, I have an idea, but it's not good. Oh, shoot, I can't lose this. Mustn't lose that. All right. Baby wipe. Okay, well, I need to do more down. I want to make this somehow darker, and I want to make this white a little more even, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Seems like a place to put it. This you have to rub a lot more firmly on to get the pigment out of this paper as opposed to Yupo. Yupo, it just very pleasingly comes off of there, but that's enough for a shadow, right? Get some of that runoff out of there. It's kind of misty in the background. That's not bad, huh? Maybe put a smaller one up in here, like that maybe, in that area. Just like them kind of ghostly, not real. Hey, Gail. Don't know what I'm doing, kids, so hang on. I have to look. Definitely need something. I don't know what that something is. I need to do something to this. I want a more distinct line around the outside. I'm half tempted, half. To take one of my blacks. I don't know. What do I want to do to this? See, it's got some of the silver. Oops, hello. It's got some of the silver in there. See that? I just think it needs more of a distinct outline. But how to do that without totally doing it in? That's the question. I'm thinking about using my smaller brush. Maybe with a little, I don't know. Do I want to do something like a lunar blue? To let it granulate and fade just along this arc? Maybe? Well, you know what? It's not a masterpiece, so let's just give it a try, shall we? Is that what I want to do, though? Hang on, let me look at my other options in my my Primatex. I have a granulating, I think this is, what is that? Lunar Violet, which is a purple that granulates like the black, lunar black and the lunar blue. This is a lunar violet. And this has a little violet cast in it. Maybe I'll use this. Let's see. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm making a little puddle. To pick up from there. I think even this brush is too big. I need a smaller one. There's a 6. All the brushes I have, I always go for these silver black velvet ones. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too, Denise, because I have that form to get that arc just right with something like a marker or even ink on a brush. But I want to get some sort of shading in there as well. So that's how my brain's working at the moment. We know how that goes. Well, what the hell? Let's just dive in, shall we? I don't know which way to go from that I can... See, this is gonna... Since it's going on dry, I probably shouldn't do that, should I? I should make it go on wet so it fans out. Let me just drag some water across here because this was ink. The silver is watercolor, but I don't want to have a line there underneath of the purple, the violet. I'll just wet that a little teeny tiny bit right in through there. And now pick up a little stronger pigment. Not even blending right down here. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more water and let it kind of fray into that, over top of that ink a little bit more. Didn't want a stark line. I just wanted it to kind of be a little dark. At the top. You know what? I'm going to go back in there with some Lunar Black because that's... I don't know. It's got a little bit darker though, right? Then the shapes of the half minute resembles a globe with continents. Cool. I'll take that. I was going for craters, but I'll take the continents. Always have loved me a good continent. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this. This is Lunar Black. Not Lunar Black. It's the creamer Furnace Black. It's not a granulating color so much as just a strong black pigment. Add that in there while that's still damp. Okay, back away from the moon. Oh, know your limits, girl. Know your limits. I'm almost tempted, I gotta tell you. I'm almost tempted to come in with a different metallic. Rose gold or that lagoon maybe even. Or maybe a real pale gold. Or the other silver, perhaps. I have two different silvers. And do the same thing, arcing it around there. So it looks like you see this frosty edge to it. I don't know. I see what people talk about. Cece was just mentioning this in one of her videos. Where the tape, see the tape lifted up off of the paper here. Where the tape gets messed up and it takes away from the frame of what you really see. I understand what they mean by that now. It looks like a mess. And you forget there should be, hopefully there's a sharp edge underneath of it. Lagoon, you think? I mean, it's got enough little blues in there to pick that up, right? That's what I was... Why my little head went that way. What the hell. What the hell? Let's just put a little more water down there. Make sure that's a little wet again. We don't know unless we try. Isn't that what they say? Okay, Lagoon. Show me the money, baby. Show me the money. Just a little hint. All right. All right. I'm going to let that dry and see what that's going to look like. So what... I don't know. I don't know. Do I bring a little splats of Lagoon up through here maybe? To tie that in? I've always liked a good splat, I gotta tell you. We need something, for sure. Let me get my a little bit bigger brush. Kind of wet. Trying to aim them in the black so they show a little bit more. I don't know. Well, we'll see. It's an experiment. Thanks, Kimberly. What are you, Gail, what device are you watching on? That lagoon is so cool. At certain angles, I can see how purple it is. Oh, yeah. I got a call. Creamer, when I ordered those other pigments that I mixed up these few on one of my streams, these are some of the magic ones that have that color shift properties on the bottom, and then just other metallics on the top. There were 2 colors that were back ordered, and I got a notice in the email a week or so ago saying, I thought it said that they shipped, but I haven't seen them. And usually when they ship it, I get it the next day, 2 days max, because they're in New York. I never got it, so must follow up on that. Study here with the video, see if there's a I might just no maybes about it. I'm going to do it. I have some of this stuff called Mira Star Gloss. It's real silvery, almost like a glitter. It's a creamer pigment that I made using their medium. And this is really, it's almost like a glitter. It's a really heavy pigment. And I'm just going to, here and there, give me a little bit of that. What's enough? I don't know. I can't define enough. Something that never happens? All right, stop. Back away from the glitter. Get that out of my brush. Oh, I think that'll be good though. And I got a similar email, but they wanted to know if it's still one of the back orders, so I had to reply if they, oh crap. I wonder if that's what I did. Had so much going on recently, I don't even paying half attention to everything. I'll have to go back and look at that when I get done here. Thanks, Jan. All right, whatever this ends up now, this is the end of this. So, we shall see. Of course, I say that, and then I think maybe a little something in Boston silver wouldn't be bad. Well, it's kind of cool. I got my board all painted up. I like to break them in. So in my head, this is not what I saw at all. But I was laying in bed last night and couldn't sleep. And I was thinking in my head that what I had in my head, that what I was going to name the piece is Bad Moon Rising. So That may still apply, but not for the same reason. Ooh. Not that any piece needs to be named, but it just, for some reason, that hit me. This is how my mind works when I'm trying to sleep. All right. Pluto and planets. Oh, yeah. I can see that. I'm not wild about this transition area down here, and I still may do something. Wonder if I should do something like more stark black there. That'd be too hard of a line, though, to come with an arc like that. That's real black, like an ink, like a pen or something like that. Maybe I should think on it. All right, I'm gonna see what we got. What the hell? And it all ran underneath my tape. So there's that. Not a good taper, apparently. That's okay. Doesn't make me a bad person. I'll have to get out like my bone folder or something and really get it. Yeah. On every side it ran under. That's okay. Maybe it gives it charm. You can put frisket on the orb shape and then paint above it. Put Frisco on the orb. Frisket on the orb. I'm not sure what you mean by that one, Denise. Yeah, that pretty much ran just about everywhere. Underneath every edge of the tape. See what I mean? But, you know, bits of it are kind of cool. How those paints granulate. See that sparkle of that silver and the lagoon in there? I'm going to try to get a clump of this silver up close so you can see what that looks like. Where'd you go? Where are you? There you are. See how like glittery silver that watercolor is? So, I don't hate it. Not what was in my head. Anywho, that's where it ended up. It's growing on me a little bit. Let's put you off to the... Oh, that's wild. I threw it up here. I wish you guys could see that. I don't know why it doesn't pick it up. And when I looked at it on a plane like this, like I'm looking at it from this angle, all that turquoise, all that lagoon is bright purple. That is so freaking cool. But can I show you on camera? No, the camera won't ever pick it up. And I don't know why. It refuses to see the purple. You just aren't going to get to see it. It's as simple as that. That is so crazy, though, how that shifts. Come on, show me some purple. Nope, it doesn't really matter the angle. It almost wants to go that way. But to what you're seeing, it looks just more like it's gone. Like it's not there or shiny at all. But it's a brilliant purple. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right. Whew, hot flash. All right. Thanks, Kayla. What was I going to do? I don't even know what I'm doing. I do not know. Take this out of my way. And And what time is it? 2:48. I wanted to try something different. Imagine that. As I say that, I'm laughing because I'm thinking that's not really different. But I'm gonna take a piece of Yupo and I'm gonna wet it first, so I can get it pretty wet to put down some gauze as I watercolor it. And that's just medical sponges. That's all that is. Those little squares, right? That's all that is. Nothing fancy. So, these pigments move so much on this Yupo. That with it being wet, they might just all run off the page. I do not know how that's gonna go. We're gonna give it a try. Get some of my stuff loaded up here a little bit. That's some of my Peerless Liquid Amethyst. This is some of my Juniper Green from Doc Martin Radiant line of liquid watercolors. And I want to get some of the violet. But you know what I think I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to add some of the saddle brown in. This stuff, yeah, of course you can't see it. That was on that kind of a neutral colored thing that I did that I mounted for my nephew. It acts really cool the way it feathers with different stuff. I'm going to blend it in with my standard colors. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. That, and what was that? That was burnt bronzite, I do believe. And that is this one here. That's one of the harder ones. I'm going to let that sit for a minute and get a little puddle of that ready to go. And get my ginormous rose gold ready to go. I got carried away and I made a lot of it. And I thought, that's not going to fit in anything. And I went scrambling around and found myself a little petri dish. But I actually like it a lot because I use it a lot. And get any big old brush in there. Pretty easy. All right, let's see if I can pick up some of this. Add to this puddle. I should get some clean water. I think I'm going to do that. Oh, crap. Hello. This is a Daniel Smith Primatech called Burnt Bronzite. And that granulates really cool. And it's got a shimmer in it. So I don't know. We'll just mix it up and throw some in there. But I am going to get a new jug of water because that's my water. So chat amongst yourselves. Back in a flash. All right. Okie dokie. But I think I'm also... Was it the Daler Rowney that came out really, really black? I think that's what I used. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of this. What colors are you using to make that rose gold? It's two of the pigments that are in the creamer line. One is the Satin Silver. That's the number of their pigment, 500008, Satin Silver. And I mix it with this one, which is Calibri Bronze, which is 503008. Hello? There you go. I mix it with that. I started out making it half and half, but now I use more silver to bronze, and I just kind of eyeball the portions. I don't measure anything. And you can kind of see as you're mixing it where it gets to, but that one has more of the silver in it than one of my first ones. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Here's a pan in here. Does that look any different to you than this? Maybe a little bit. This one I think was more half and half, the one in the pan. This one was more of the silver. Because it's a fine line you hit in there because it kind of looks coppery at some point. Which actually copper is kind of a rose goldish thing. But, you know, what do you know? Okay, so like I said, I'm going to spritz the paper. I should have used a bigger piece for what all I want to do on here. I'm going to grab a different piece of UPO. Hold the phone. I grab this size, 11 by 14. I need to order some more of this. And my goodness, that's my second to last sheet left. That's not good. Okay, and I'm going to open these up and get these ready for when everything's really wet. I'm going to move this in here so the camera doesn't go too wonky donkey do. And I'm just opening these up to get a single layer. And I want the threads to go all wonky. I don't want them to look like a tic-tac-toe board that's even and, you know, all that stuff. And I'll stretch it more when I get it to where I want it to lay down on the paper. I'm just going to do a few of those and lay them off to the side so I don't have to take the time to do this when everything is drying in front of me. Because I want them to get in there when they're nice and juicy. Alright, two. Here. And to that mix, oops. Oh, let's see. I'm only going to get a couple of these colors out. I think I'm going to throw, and I think I know what's going to happen, and it's not going to make me happy if it does, but I'm going to throw a little alcohol ink in this one. I think it's going to push the watercolors out of the way. And if that's the case, then I'm going to abandon the alcohol ink. But I just want to get, Stream is a good color. Mermaid, very good color. Let's try that. All right, so where am I? I got that. Wow, look how dark. What the heck is that? That looks so weird. This is my juniper green, but it looks like a dark purple sitting in there now. Interesting. All right. spray the paper is what I said I was going to do, right? So let's spray the paper. Am I in frame? Probably not. Wow. Need longer arms to get this pushed back any further. Okay, so now that I see this, it's kind of spotty on there, but whatever. Okie dokie. Let's all right, let's just jump in here. Let's see what happens with this. This is the juniper green. Ooh, look at it running through that water. Of course, you can't see it. Camera's all blurred out. What the hell? Come on. There you go. See what that's doing? That might give me even more featheriness as we go. I'm going to put some of this saddle brown down. Seems weird. Oh, crap. I got it all up underneath of there. Not good. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Maybe not much good. This could be a fail. I don't know. I do not know. I'm going to put some burnt bronzite in the middle of that and see what happens here. At that mingling. And I'm dropping in some rose gold because that doesn't look like it's doing much. Get some of that in there. That's turning all kind of colors because it's mixing with all that. But we'll still get that sprinkling. Look how this breaks apart. See the green down here? There's no green in there. That's just that brown coming apart. All through here you can see it. Pretty interesting. So let's get some of this purple in here. Let's see what happens with this. This is the Peerless Liquid. And now see what I'm doing? I'm forgetting what I'm doing. I want to put this down when it's really wet. And I'm going to pull this apart and let it look all wonka-donka-doo. And I want it to go across this lane here where it's going to touch a bunch of these different colors. Almost forgot to put it on there. A little bit more water in there to get that touched down. And a little more of this rose gold on the wet brush. Get that all pushed down in there. I just want it to make contact. And I'll use this down here. I don't want to lose that pigment off of that. And then let's just, for giggles, where the hell did it go? There. Okay, let's do just a drop of alcohol ink in there and see what that's going to do before I go too crazy with it. All right, let's see what happens with that. Let's do it over here and just drop it in this purple loosely. Whoa, look at the spatter that came out from just a molecule that dropped out of the lid. That's what I thought it was going to do. Just push stuff out of the way. Can you guys see that? It's actually clearing. It's bringing it back to white in some places. Isn't that crazy? Are you crazy? You so crazy? Let me throw this down here before I lose that eye of the storm thing going on here. And I'm just going to yank this any which way. And let's throw it on there and see what happens. Oh, shoot. Let's just throw your brush on there while you're at it. Crazy lady. I don't want that to be so much of an eyeball in there. I want to pull some of that out. Let me get some of this rose gold around there and see what that does with that whole mixture of stuff. There'll be so much stuff going on this one, it might be combustible. Okay, so let's get some, let's go lunar blue. Where are you, honey? Where are you? Come to mama. Because this does some really cool stuff. Let's get that in here with the edge of this rose gold that's mixing and the brown that's breaking out with the green. Let's throw some of you in here. Get some of you on that white. Let's see what happens there. Okie dokie. Let's throw some burnt bronzite up in this corner. Break that up a little bit. See what's happening down here? How this is being pushed. I could have a 10-foot desk and it wouldn't be big enough. See how all that color is being pushed out of there? I'm going to throw in some of my dioxazine purple down there, because that's one of those dominant colors that kind of takes over. Let's see what happens when I put it in there. I've got to order some more of that too. I just had the little tiny tube to start out with, and I've pretty much, there we go, that's what I want. Get some of that dark in there and let that have its way with these surrounding pigments. There we go. This is really interesting what's happening right through here. Really cool. Hey, Leanne, thank you. I am playing with watercolor, alcohol ink. It's on Yupo, and I'm laying some gauze in it for texture. And I want to put a little teeny tiny. I don't know, this may be a mistake, but that's how we learn. Put a little drop of that black. Whoa, look at that. Can you guys see what that's doing? Let me just run it down there and let it. Whoa, look at all this. And here it's pulling some of this purple and breaking into a green coming through there. Let me bring you in closer. I want you guys to see what's happening. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you because of these damn alcohol inks in my way. All right, that's pretty much the bottom of the page there. But there's some really cool stuff going on in there. Let me tell you, sisters. I want to put, let's get some more you in here, lovely. Let's see what you do to the party if we bring you in there. But see how this, as dark as that purple is, how it breaks apart, and that's almost dry now. What do I want to put in there? Let's get a little bit of this saddle brown in there. Let's see what that does. And let's go down here. Let's get some of this burnt bronzite. You can't see where I'm reaching. You're just going to have to trust me. That's what it is. And this is one of the Primatex that has the dries with a shimmer. Isn't that crazy what that's doing? That's pretty cool. Wow, I don't even know what else I'm going to put in there. Mesmerized. This is a different purple. This is the Radiant Rain Violet, I believe. Throw a little bit more rose gold along here. That's cool how that's breaking into, oh shoot, that's off the page. Wow, how this is breaking into this. Alright, look at these straggly edges where that, all this is traveling with this water here. Look at that texture there. This is awesome, man. I'm mesmerized. Okay, another piece of gauze. I'm going to get this bit while it's all wet. And I'm going to pull this one up. Oops, that one's really went apart. That's not good. All right. Try to make this make contact and not do too much to disturb or mix the colors that are under there, because as they stand, they are fabulous. Get a little more water on there to get that to touch down. Give me some of this. This is a saddle brown. I'll get some more of that concentrated in there to get that to touch. Get some rose gold in there. Oh, maybe that's better if I just roll it on. Get to push those fibers down. I'm going to do a little teeny tiny bit of black in there. I'm going to add alright. Okay, what else do I need to put in there? Something else. A little more of this in here. And maybe a little more of this dioxazine up here. That usually does some cool stuff. Alright, let that one sit there. Thanks, Joan. This is kind of boring though, isn't it? I might re-wet that. Maybe a little alcohol ink in this one. I don't have any in here. Let's put it up here and see what happens. Now that I got these blobs, I don't want to not continue that, although I'm not wild about that. I don't want to just let it be in that one area. Let's see what happens if I add a little water in there and smoosh that out a little bit. Or maybe add some of the rose gold over that. Okay. There's some pretty cool stuff happening up here. Okay, I gotta have some more lunar blue in there because that's doing some really spectacular stuff. Look at all this down here. I don't even know what's happening here. But we're gonna interrupt that a huge puddle there. I'm going to have to let some of that come off of there or it's never going to dry. I'm actually going to take that back into there because that's kind of getting washed out. We'll see what happens there. And let's get some more of this in here. Maybe it'll jazz this up a little bit. Wow. Looking pretty cool. Let's go with more of this saddle brown. Throw that in here and see what happens. See how this, it acts so different on Yupo than it does on watercolor paper. I don't know if you guys can see this down here, what's happening in the lunar blue section. That's awesome. Awesome. I love how this is bleeding over into this color in here that it's turning is fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Which one was that? This one? Yeah. That's got a little dried up there. Let's get something moving over there. And let's see, what else do we want to do there? All right. Hey, because I need another piece of gauze. I only opened up 3. Let me get another one down here. All right. Oh, I see you doing Hurricane Heart. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Somebody's doing a piece of artwork for one of the auctions to raise money. Dave and I sent God, the entire navigator crammed full of our clothing we wanted to give away. There was a company over in Dundalk where I'm from that was sponsoring having a tractor trailer take clothing and like home goods kind of stuff out to this. I guess the place was specifically asking for that sort of thing. When I mentioned it on Facebook, I had everybody telling me, "Don't send clothes, don't send clothes," but they wanted clothes, so I sent clothes. So I guess they had the program or the means set up to try to, take care of getting the stuff put out. I know that that's hard to distribute, but I bet you, hey, Carrie Ann, I was happy to do it and sad to see all the money of clothes that I've wasted that I've giving away. But happy to send it there for sure. No regrets at all. That didn't sound good, but I think you guys know me enough to know that's what I meant by that. All right, so this is pretty wild. I do not like this in here though. I'm going to re-wet that. Let's get a little something else going in there. Use this metallic that's on my brush. And throw a little more something in there. I guess maybe a little more of the same. I'm going to throw some of that brown in there. That's doing some pretty cool stuff. This is the Saddle Brown Radiance. All right. There you have it. So let me back this up a little bit. And I'll try to show you as I pick this up to move it to higher ground. Let it dry. Oh, I didn't put any alcohol ink over here. I don't know that I'm going to like this, but I don't want it to not follow through. Well, that's what I said, Gayla, because Dave and I are both big people. And, you know, you get all this stuff donated that would fit a little 90-pound ballerina. And then what's somebody like me going to do? Right? So. Oh, hey, Joan. He's good. Hey, Safia. He just turned 9 months. Hang on, I'll show you a picture of the little turd. Here he was on his first pumpkin adventure. He leaves those, Chelsea puts those sunglasses on him. He just leaves them on. He never takes them off. There's him with his first pumpkin. Oh. And it's hard to pick up on the phone. Let's see. Here he is for one of his 9 months. Oh, that one's got some glare on it. Hang on. 9 months. This kid laughs so much. I think I played a video for you before of him laughing. He is quite the belly laugher. Hang on a second. Videos. Where's the little fart? Here, this one kills me. We got to wait till it gets into the video a little bit. They're at the Maryland State Fair. His cousin, Emily, is in this play bin. Instead of a sandbox, it's corn. And he's laughing at her because she's throwing corn. Now what? Oh, heck, somebody's calling. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys, I got to take this one. This one's about my mom, so hang on. Hey, Long. Hey. No. Uh-uh. I haven't heard from her, no. Thanks, Lala. Bye-bye. Sorry, guys. If you're on YouTube, sorry. Couldn't be avoided. My mom's got pneumonia at almost 90 years old. That was her best friend that just went to check on her. So, had to check out that. So, if anybody's still here, I'll, oh yeah, we got people hanging here. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. I was showing you my little turd laughing. Here we go. And all she's doing is throwing corn kernels, and that's hilarious, apparently. Nothing like a baby's belly laugh. Yeah, so she was okay. Her best friend was visiting from Tennessee, and my mom said she didn't want her to come over. She didn't want her to get exposed to it. Now she's on this big depression thing and doesn't want anybody to see her because she looks hideous and this and that, and just a whole long story. Well, she went over anyway and just showed up and took her flowers and couldn't go in because her husband is sickly and she couldn't take a chance of taking my mom's bacterial pneumonia to him. But anyway, so sorry, had to take the call. Yeah. So this is drying pretty cool. There's some interesting spots here. Look at this lunar blue. That's pretty cool. This little blob right in here is kind of interesting when you can see it in person. I can't really turn it so you can see the metallics flashing. But I shall put this one over on the side and see what happens when it dries. No, she's not in the hospital. She's at home. She's actually better than you would think saying that. She went 2 weeks ago to an urgent care because she's started out coughing overnight for no apparent reason. And they told her she had the common cold, and so days go by, she's getting worse. I go check on her, I take her food, do all that stuff a couple times. And I said, Mom, every time I tell her, I said, Mom, you kind of sound worse to me. Then, if you'd have to know how my mom is, she was basically cussing me, saying, you're the only damn one that tells me I sound worse. I said, well, I can only tell you what I hear. Anyway, it finally took my brother saying to her this past Thursday night, which was almost 2 weeks in, like, Mom, maybe you should just go follow up just to make sure you're on track. So then she called me that night and said, well, I think I might need to go to urgent care. So, okay. So she said, but tomorrow, not tonight, I'm fine. So I took her and I told the doctor, I said, I'm afraid of it turning into pneumonia. They told her she had the common cold. She sounds worse. Anyway, long story short, the beginnings of bacterial pneumonia in her right lung. So they sent her home on 2 antibiotics, a bunch of over-the-counter stuff, which we now found out she can't take because she has an adverse reaction to it. But anyway, so that's where that is. So, let me get this stuff out of the way. I'm not going to use alcohol inks anymore in this stuff. I don't like how it do. Yeah, so let me check the time. Put this away. My next trip over there, my mom lives by herself. She drives. She takes care of herself. She does, her own laundry. She feeds herself. She's completely independent. But I think she's taken a turn the last couple of weeks where she's now walking on a cane for the first time, which she said, man, I can really move fast with this, and I get less pain in my back. But I don't know. She sounded a little more depressed than normal, and she said, I'm ready to be with your dad, and all that kind of stuff that she's saying and going on now. But she's had a great run. She's almost, she'll be 90 next July. She takes 2 blood pressure pills. That's it. That's all. Hey, Trina. I have a long time ago. And I've added just loose primary elements in with it. But Leslie from Color Art is actually called me and talked to me for a while, and she wants me. She's sending me a set of her prototype for the new Twinks coming out in pans, like regular watercolor pans like this. She's sending me a prototype for me to play with and see how I like them. The formula has changed from when it was in these little jars like this. Everybody knows this was a really hard cake, and you'd have to put water in it, you know, spray a lot of water in it or whatever, and just let it sit there for, you know, I would let them sit for like 10 minutes, and then you'd have to maybe spray more water. And then when they got loose, they were unbelievable. But these are going to be more formulated like artist grade pan watercolors, where they re-wet and lift much easier. So she's working on her packaging. She's working on full pans, half pans, and they're going to come out where you can buy them, I think, separately at some point, or tins like this, like in these metal boxes. So that's all in the works. And I think she said I should get my prototype set Tuesday. So I will be playing with those for sure. What time is it? 3:30. When I come on? 1, 3.5. All right, I'll go 3 hours. Let me go. Where are we with this? Let's see what happened here. I don't know. What else? What do I need to do to this? Yeah, do I draw some like little white stars or dots with a gel pen? Do I outline this with black? Is that too stark if I do that? I don't know. But you can see the, there you go, a little bit of flash. It's hard to pick it up. She really does do well. She's had a great run. And like my brother always says, you know, none of us are getting out of here alive, right? But I just feel a downward spiral coming. I was going to take something and maybe wipe it back a little bit. I did a couple strips last week just to experiment, where I had one of my pieces that I mounted and I had these long strips, and then I lifted it off with a stencil. This is a stencil that Joan sent me. And then I did this one. And this one, I don't like this as much because I wiped back more than I left on there because of the way the stencil was made. But it looks kind of cool with those veins in it. It almost looks kind of seaweedy or something. But I have so many of these darn things now. I'm going to have to start doing something with them other than... This is one of the ones that got scratched up. I think I see some scratches up here. Maybe I'll play with this one with lifting off some. And maybe I will use... I want one that's going to leave more than it takes off. I don't know. Oh. That's going to take more off than it's going to leave behind. Ah! Got a little tangle. This one, that's going to take more off. Maybe if I just did little spots of it here and there. I don't know. Hold the phone. Let me go to my stencil box again. A little box of tricks. Good Lord. Terrible. Come on. Look at that. Too many to look through. Well, maybe this mask. Oh! The lid just broke and fell off of the box. Plastic scrap box that I had my stencils in, and of course quite a number went on the floor. Oh, no, that won't work. Shoot, what was I thinking? Oh, maybe parts of it. I don't know, my brain's getting tired now. Not a surprise. Okay, I thought I would try maybe something like this. I want to put this over a piece that I really like because that won't get wiped off. Huh. I don't know. Well, let's wipe something. What the hell? And you'll see how much easier, even though this is dried for a couple of weeks, you'll see how much easier. And you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to only do little bits of this here and there because I'll never piece this together so it looks like this design. Dorothy had to reboot 3 times. I don't know what the heck's going on. I really do not know. All right, let's start wiping, less talking. Oh, wait a minute. Is this one I sprayed? Because that's not moving anywhere, just a little bit. I think I may have sprayed. I did. I sprayed this one already. Alrighty. Well, we know the varnish is working. Ah, I thought that felt different. Crapola. Let's see. Are these sprayed? This is one of the ones that got scratched up. This one has a lot more scratches in it. Ew, I wish I knew what I used there. That looks pretty cool. Some lunar blue in there because of that granulation, for sure. All right, let's just do little bits and pieces of this one, and I'll try to wipe out where it scratched more. Because I'm sneaky that way. This is kind of cool. I don't know what made that. Almost looks like it was salt on it, and there's no salt. See that area right there? Kind of crazy. Very interesting. All right, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do little bits. See where that wipes off so much easier? And here's another thing that is a problem with this, is that it wipes off so easy it puddles underneath of the stencil. And causes some blobs. So we'll see. This could be a cluster. And it partially is. Let me grab my last paper towel. Try to blot up some of the extra liquid that went underneath the stencil. See all that? Well, this might be one of those things that you just grab a piece of this for something instead of being a whole work of art. Oh, shit. Oops, I said the shit word. Known in some circles as the S word. So this is just kind of putting some texture in there. All right, where's my, there it is. I'm going to get a clean baby wipe instead of smearing the paint. Kind of just a ghostly, it's kind of cool looking actually. Now that I see what's happening, where do I want to put you? I'm going to save that little bit right there. Or can I? I don't think it matters. I'm not gonna sweat it too much. I got all that there. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Just want little bits of blurry blank spots. Not really blank, but just blurring it enough that you can see the shape of the stencil underneath of there. Take off the little bits that soaked underneath. Sandra, Patti, what's the name of that stencil? This is one of my masks, Sandra. It's oh, there we go. It's called Geometry Mask. All right. So this is kind of cool, actually. I would think that might be interesting enough to kind of mount it, frame it like that. It's actually kind of like it. And you see these big circles here that were unaffected because of that big circle. And they just come out very random where they were. And then you see some that are very distinct lines. And others that are just kind of blurry. Like over in here. Huh. Well, ding dong. I kind of like that. I didn't know how that was going to go. But mama likey. Let's do another one. What's this one? This one was scratched too. When this dries, I'm going to take this one out and spray it. And that interruption of that flow of the watercolors also makes it more difficult to even detect where any of those scratches were. Now, what I'm talking about, in case you guys don't remember or know, um, somebody said you should scan these before you cut them up or use them. And I thought, that's a great idea. These are awesome. So I'm scanning them with my scanner mouse, right? I have this Halo mouse that's got the scanner window on the bottom. And when you use it, you rub it along whatever you're scanning and it reads it. Well, the ones that I hadn't sealed yet, it scratched the watercolor off the Yupo. Thought, Dad, burn it. So what I did was I come, and you can see some of the scratches up in this corner here in this one. See that? But there was a lot more of them and a lot more prominent. And what I did was I just came in with my spray bottle and I lightly spritzed everything, and it made the pigment start to move on top of that Yupo again, and it blended out some of those scratches to where you can just barely see them. But then doing this on top of it, you can't even tell that they were scratched or meant to be scratched. All right, let me find something else. That was kind of cool. There's that one. That's part of the one I used on that moon painting earlier. So let's try. I don't know. Some of this one's really cool. But, you know, what am I going to do with it otherwise? All right, here we go. This one's easy to wipe because you just go in a circle. After we're going back and forth. Oop. Might have messed that one up. It's all right. The moisture from the baby white kind of crawls underneath that mask a little bit. Right? So, let's see. Maybe I'll let that overlap there. Maybe I'll do that. All right. Okie dokie. All right, there we go. I like this one better because it's so jumbled up. There's no distinct pattern to it, where this one is a little more patterny. Is that a word? Let's do this. Let's take some of these areas in the middle here and just do something like that. Let's do that. Yeah. This is a mask. Oh, Jesus, that scared me. Damn weather alert on my phone. This is a mask that's the opposite of the stencil that Cece used in her recent piece that she did using one of my stencils. The one she calls Iron Gate. It's the Iron Gate stencil. And this is the Iron Gate mask, so it's the opposites, right? The negative and the positive are opposites. That's kind of busting it up a little. Busting a move. Let's do a little something right in there. Something through there. Oops, that's a little, I got a little messy right there. Okay, do I like it better or not? I think I do. I think I like it better. All right. Here are the pups getting ready to run down. Oh, and maybe Dave too. What's going on? What's happening over there? Oh, look at my hands. Who watercolors and gets like this? Oh. Babe, what are you yapping about? All right, guys, I'm going to cut it off there. I'm at the almost the 3-hour mark. But here, let me pull this back some. There we go. Now you can kind of see the whole thing. Let's see where it broke up the intermittent shine from the metallics there. It's kind of cool, huh? I like that. I do like it. And I like this one even more because it's, you don't know what you're looking at. Is it abstract watercolor? Is it geometric? Is it, what am I looking at? So there's that. Here's where I started. It's all right. Not well. Me first attempt. And let me see if the this other one's dry enough to take off the not quite yet. There's this one. I can turn it a little bit more so you can kind of see some of the craziness that happened throwing that brown and the saddle brown and the bronzite into the mix. Here's that lunar blue. That's still kind of wet over there. So yeah, there's still a lot of dampness on there. Last time I lifted it up too early, it kind of like, because it's pigments on top of here. Thanks, Janine. I'm glad you got to join us. We'll have to hook up soon. Lost my train of thought, squirrel. Because it's on the Yupo and it's non-porous. Everything, the pigments and the water float on top of it. So until it's dry, it still is going to move a little bit. And when I pulled off the gauze before and some of it moved a little bit, it blurred. Let me see if I can find it. I show you. Oh hell, where is it? Here we go. Oh! Craft-a-lanch. I've got to do something with that pile. Oh, and look, there's my award. Oh, just fell. Can't be having that be rolling around the place. Ay, ay, ay. Here's these card. Anywho, thanks, Joan. Over here, you can see this one I took off too early. And you can see where that pattern's not near as distinct. And this gold bit over here, that rose gold, that had a really cool pattern in it, and it just went to a blob because it kept moving. It was damp. However, when you get over here, and I let it dry and peeled it off, you can see it's a much more focused, a much more distinct pattern It really is. If it's going to show you or not, I don't know. Come on, baby. Work with me. Well, you'll just have to believe. There we go. Thank you. It's a lot more precise image of the gauze, where this had a little more movement in it after that. So I think this one's going to look pretty cool. I'll let this sit. I'll come down later tonight and take some stills, and I'll throw them out there for you guys to see what it looks like. Close up and personal. So, okay, guys, thanks for hanging. Um, spending your Sunday afternoon with me. I'm going to save my video, and then I'll cut it loose, but hang on. Okay. Stop and